Oh, baby. Oh. Okay. That's a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
All right, so we are officially Crown Vipping the Crown Vic. I think we're done doing dumb stuff to it for a little bit. So we are tearing out the zip tie suspension. Yeah, zip tie suspension. If you haven't watched that video, you should go check that video. It was really fun. Anyway, so we're gonna tear out this stock suspension and throw in our air suspension. So we're gonna work on the exterior of this car first with some suspension, some wheels. We got some aftermarket lighting coming. It should be here any day now. We're gonna get this thing looking good. Alrighty, so we got a lot of stuff tore out here. We got all the stock suspension out from the front and the rear. Here we got our nice airbags. All right, so what we got going on here, Crown Vics are a little weird. We gotta assemble everything. So we got these plates, and then this goes on the plate, and then it goes something like that, and it all goes in there. Front's pretty straightforward. The rears, however, universal air bags. So basically how these come, you got these like cup things here that we gotta put in here. Those are like your upper mounts, but for the lowers, solid rear axle, we got these things. Now, Banker's gonna help out with this because I can't cut and weld for shit. So we got to drop this rear axle out pretty much. So I got everything pretty much kind of out of the way. Brake calipers are up there, sway bars disconnected, our torque arms are there. But basically, these perches here for the stock springs, these need to come out. These need to be bye-bye, and then these replace that. So we'll get those out, grind everything down, clean it up, and then these replace that, get welded in, and then that's what our airbag is gonna sit on. So. There we go. Whoosh. Hi.
How you looking?
Good.
I just need to disconnect the parking brake.
Look at you go.
Disconnect the parking brake, and then these two Johns.
Right, she's out.
No sh. Yeah. How do you think it'll go back together? Pretty decent, or?
Yeah. Yeah. It's been really straightforward. It's like, oh, you need to remove that, just take the bolt out.
Technically, that's all cars.
And that's how working on cars goes.
It's nice when everything isn't rusted the whole
That
week.
has been the biggest like godsend on this car, is that it's not rusted to hell. Like obviously there's stuff's corroded. It's a 12-year-old
not,
car. but-
not like Wisconsin car.
Yeah. Bank man. Is the bank open? I need to make a withdrawal. He's got parking brake cable tool.
It looked weird.
It works weird.
I had no idea that there was a specific tool for it.
I have yet to successfully use this. So the premise is it's supposed to hold it on this side and then push this out,
Okay. Oh yeah.
but this thing kind of gets in the way.
Look at this. This thing a cop car down to the bone. Police drive shaft.
So what I'll need you guys to do is each of you hold a side of this,
Okay.
especially when I take the bolt off here.
Okay.
And then we'll slowly lower it and then just wheel it back.
Okay. Oh, it's not gonna fall back. Oh, is that?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Close, close.
Yeah, that was
It's a boy.
all right.
Woo!
Yeah. It's done.
Now for the hard part.
Oh.
It's not going to be fun. I'm
All
going
right.
to tell you that now. This is where the labor comes in.
Drive shaft. All right, so rear axle is for the most part back in. Everything's kind of mocked up and in place and where everything should be for Banker to come through and weld these lower mounting brackets in for us. I don't want to weld it, and you guys don't want me to weld it because I welded like once in my life, and that was after like someone else set up everything up for me. That was not a word. And that was after someone else set everything up for me, and it still turned out like absolute dog shit. So Banker's going to weld this for us. It's going to turn out really nice. So in the meantime, he's been wrapping up some other projects. I've been starting to get to work on the front. We got our front airbags, and these are a lot easier to go in. So we're going to button up the front here before we start running all of our lines and everything else. And then we should be on the home stretch. Hopefully the hard part is past us, but I know how to do this. I don't know how to do this.
exactly the right way to do it, but it'll work. So now they can do it. They can come and paint the axle, paint this if they want or whatever, but now it's ready to go back together, so they can figure that part out.
I definitely haven't spent like 4 weeks on this.
Well, that's what happens when we decided to buy a car. I actually didn't do any research on how to do it before we bought the car.
Literally, all I did was like, hey, we sell stuff for it. That means you got to be able to bag it. There's one in the gallery.
Well, my thoughts were, man, how hard could it be? Like, it's a Crown Vic. Like, this isn't that complicated. Turns out not many people do this with their Crown Vics the way we want to do it. Everyone who does this is like, I'm going to cut the frame apart and like redo a whole custom rear end. Not what we want to do.
No. Yo, shout out whoever made ratcheting wrench. Did it go?
They're all right. You can't put a lot of torque on them, though, in my experience, or they break. You got muscles like me. You gotta be careful. The tool
Yeah,
you
it could
use.
over-torque really easy.
Yeah, these hands can really torque some nuts. When you
Is it time to slap these puppies on?
Uh-huh. I don't
The
think
suspension's finally in.
for the most part.
Hubs are bolted up.
Yeah. All right, so I don't think we've actually unveiled these officially. But these, we can't tell, are some Work VSKFs. Huge shout out to 3-Piece US for sourcing these bad boys for us. They actually took them and rebuilt them a little
Yeah,
bit.
because if you didn't know, these wheels are discontinued. They
Yeah.
don't make them anymore, so the only way to get them is to find them. So 3-Piece US makes and restores old wheels that are discontinued and brings them back to life so we can enjoy them on our Crown Vic. But we thought, what better pair of wheels could you put on a Crown Victoria that's going VIP? Like, I feel like VSKFs, sometimes they get a lot of flack because they look kind of like an American muscle, you know.
That's perfect
wheel,
for
and
what we
that's
need.
exactly what we want. I
Yeah.
think it goes perfect
So
with the
they're
style.
19-inch VSKFs, which was a little tricky to track down, but we got them. And we built them to the closest spec that we needed. Hopefully it's gonna work. If not, we might have to do some modifications and some things. But huge shout out to 3-Piece US because they hooked it up big time with these VSKFs. Thank you guys.
Yeah, this is gonna be
yeah.
sick. So I'm so excited. Oh my god, what the f is that? Jesus, turning the moment. All right. Oh, baby. Oh, it's spicy. It is gonna be spicy. We knew that getting into it. We went with some aggressive wheels. Oh, to air it out on these for the first time is gonna be so sick. That's crazy.
Dude, that is pretty tight in there. I'm glad that they fit.
Hey, clearance is clearance when it comes to that.
Did you
Oh wow, that is.
Nah, it'll be fine. When it airs out, they camber in a bit. I'm not even worried about it.
Yeah, they camber in a bit.
We can roll this.
We're gonna have to. This fender is gross.
Yeah.
It's huge too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that camber.
Oh, I know. Dude, that's f***ing money. It is literally perfect, bro.
But yeah, it's
Yeah, you're right. It actually does end up.
it campers in quite a bit.
So that makes me feel a lot better about the rears. Because I was nervous about the rears because they're gonna be a little bit bigger. They are a staggered set.
I'm so happy that this worked.
I know. So stoked.
We got the lights coming in too. Oh man.
Oh yeah, the new headlights, new
And
taillights are
taillights.
coming.
Yep.
Interior is gonna be completely redone.
Yeah,
all
so once
of
this
it.
thing gets on the ground, we're stripping the interior out, sending it off to get custom done, get custom front seats and rear seats done. Then we got all the interior goodies over there, like the pillows, the curtains, all that sort of stuff. I want to do some custom lighting on the inside. Got the trunk set up to do. Oh man, this thing's gonna be sick. All right, so we are getting there. So we got the rear end out again, but we got the mounts all welded in. Thanks to Banker for doing that for us. We had to put everything back in to line everything up to get the measurements and whatnot so we could weld this in. And then we had to take it out, obviously, to do all that. So it's all welded up. That was like the hardest part of all this. So we're gonna make sure that we can get this cleaned up a little bit, painted up nice and good so it doesn't like rust up or anything. I guess it's just like raw steel. So we're just gonna shoot some spray paint on it, throw everything back in, and then see where those rear wheels sit. And as soon as we know that, we know what tire size we can get, and then get this thing on the freaking ground. And it's gonna look so damn good, and I can't wait.
That's good. So the Crown Vic is finally done. Gels worked his balls off to get this thing on the ground. The Airlift 3P is in. The trunk needs to be buttoned up a little bit, but the Work VSKFs look beautiful. Shout out to 3Piece US for helping source these, because it is hard as hell to get wheels like these, and they are perfect. They turned out phenomenal, and I think they couldn't go better than on a Crown Vic. Gels, what we got coming next for this thing?
Yeah, so this is just literally the tip of the iceberg for this thing. So we got some really good stuff coming from Valvetronic. They hooked us up with some goodies for this car. We're gonna be gutting the entire interior out. We're gonna be sending the seats and stuff off to get custom reupholstered.
There it is.
That's a hard word. They're gonna be custom reupholstered. We're gonna do the trunk setup. Obviously, we got like headlights and taillights coming. We got freaking a bunch of interior stuff to throw in this thing. It's like I said, it's just the tip of it. So
yeah, so this is like phase one of the build, and I'm already jacked. I think this thing looks crazy. Aired out. We had our trunk or treat meet, and a bunch of people came up and talked to us about it and loved it already. And it's like, it's not even close to being done. We still have a million
It literally just
things
has
to
the
do.
wheels and suspension on it. Like, this is literally as basic as it can get right now. But there's a lot of crazy stuff coming. So.
Yeah, it's exciting. So make sure you subscribe and then comment down below what you want to see next with the Crown Vic, because we're reading all the comments, we're checking them out. And don't forget, wheels, tires, and suspension over at fitmentindustries.com. Oh.